The last petal on the flower is community governance and land tenure. Community governance can mean government, but it can also mean the mutually beneficial agreements that members of a community make and how that's done. Land tenure means land access. How does one get access to land? That's different than taking care of the land once you have access. This piece of land became a community garden of sorts, even though on private property, for instance. In my case, the relationships that I had with others helped me to access farmland. This petal is all about human relationships and agreements. And like financial permaculture, we do a lot of out-of-the-box things here that give you more options than you might think you have. If you look at history, it really isn't anything that hasn't been done by some culture at some time in history. Let's take a look at how tools for building beneficial relationships can help regenerate a suburban community. The suburbs, along with the Industrial Revolution, have destroyed community in some ways by enabling people to avoid interaction or cooperation with neighbors. People can avoid real relationships by ordering things they need from a big box store and living in large private homes, often fenced off from everybody else. But there are advantages to the support that a community can give you. In many areas, people used to help each other out a lot more than we do now. Some communities are still strong communities, and we will still step up when someone's in real trouble. But in many areas, people have lost that community support or even knowledge of how that works. What do I mean by support? That can mean many things. I'll give you a few examples. Borrowing tools. Some communities have started tool libraries or shared purchases for larger tools that people rarely use. Another one is caring for kids and mentoring them. This is a group of homeschoolers planting seeds in our moringa maize on our farm. Doing large tasks together, like barn raising, can make life easier. How do you create a community where there is none? Here are a couple of different ways to start. It's simple to hold a Get to Know Your Neighbor week. Just make some flyers to have a potluck, pass them out to the neighbors. This can be held at a local park or a community center or your home or someone else's home. You can introduce ideas you'd like to see implemented in the neighborhood or ways to help each other and ask others for ideas too. Don't worry if people aren't responsive at first. You're planting the seed, and sometimes it takes some time and more water and nutrition to grow. You can hold a garden raising event. We've done many of these, and they're a great way to get to know the neighbors and get something useful done. Be prepared with tools and materials for what you want done. Invite neighbors and friends to help, offering some food maybe, or free plants, or food from your garden once that's available. Or you can offer to come to their house and do the same. Permaculturists have created groups that go from house to house installing gardens in many communities across the world. It's a lot of fun, and it's a nice way to get to know people better. There's a lot more to all of these petals. We're just giving you a glimpse of what they're about here. The permaculture petals encompass all of life, and a major goal of permaculture is to use tools that work to integrate these different aspects of life in ways that increase long-term abundance and quality of life for us and for all living things. Thank you for attending.